My future mother-in-law said I'd never be a proper wife, so I showed her how proper I was. My future mother-in-law, Patricia, announced at my engagement party that I'd never be a proper wife because I was a surgeon who couldn't cook, clean, or submit to a man's leadership. She did this in front of 150 guests, including my colleagues and department heads. So I decided to show her exactly how proper I could be by outdoing her at every traditional wife standard she valued, while simultaneously excelling at everything she said made me improper. Patricia was old Southern money, believed women belonged in the home, and had raised my fiancé James to expect a traditional wife. She'd spent months undermining me, telling James I'd prioritize career over family, embarrass him at social functions, and never give him children because I was too selfish and modern. After her public humiliation at the engagement party, I started my campaign. First, I enrolled in Le Cordon Bleu's intensive weekend program, told no one. Within 3 months, I could make soufflés that would make French chefs weep. Meanwhile, Patricia's idea of fancy cooking was adding cream of mushroom soup to everything. Next, I studied her social circle. These women prided themselves on etiquette and entertaining. I hired an actual butler from the British royal household staff to teach me protocols Patricia didn't even know existed. Learned the difference between fish forks and dessert forks, proper placement of 17 different glass types, and how to serve tea like actual nobility. Then came the domestic arts. I mastered quilting, not just basic patterns but award-winning designs. Learned flower arranging from a Japanese ikebana master. Studied interior design and reorganized our apartment so expertly that Architectural Digest featured it, all while performing surgeries and saving lives. The first test came at Patricia's annual charity luncheon. She always made it about showcasing her domestic superiority. This year, she announced I'd be providing dessert, giving me 1 day's notice, expecting failure. I arrived with a 7-tier croquembouche that took me all night to perfect, each cream puff identical, spun sugar work that looked like gold lace. Her friends were stunned. Patricia tried to recover by asking about my little medical hobby condescendingly. I responded by discussing my recent humanitarian surgery trip, where I'd saved 12 children's lives, then seamlessly transitioned into asking about her rose garden using Latin names for every variety I'd studied for weeks. For James's birthday, Patricia always made his favorite meal. This year, she suggested I attempt it, knowing it was incredibly complex. I not only made it, but improved it, using techniques from molecular gastronomy. His grandmother, who'd created the original recipe, declared mine better. Patricia's face was priceless, but I wasn't done. At her country club's talent showcase, where Patricia always won with her piano playing, I performed a Chopin piece she'd been struggling with for years, flawlessly. I'd been taking lessons at 4 a.m. before surgery rounds. Then I announced I'd also embroidered a piece for the charity auction, a perfect recreation of the club's founding portrait that sold for $50,000. The killing blow came at Patricia's anniversary party. She'd been bragging that I was too career-focused to give her grandchildren. I announced my pregnancy, twins, then revealed I'd be taking only 2 weeks off because I'd already trained my replacement and could do consultations from home, modern and traditional simultaneously. But the real moment was when I gave my toast. In perfect Southern Belle style, dripping with honeyed sweetness, I thanked Patricia for inspiring me to excel at everything a proper wife should be, and listed my achievements. The cooking award I'd won, the home I'd decorated, the entertaining I'd mastered, all while maintaining my little medical practice, where I'd just been named department head. Then I pulled out documentation showing I'd traced James's family genealogy and discovered Patricia wasn't from old Southern money at all. Her grandfather was a carpetbagger from New Jersey who'd made money in questionable wartime dealings. Meanwhile, my family traced back to actual Southern plantation owners. Not proud of it, but useful for this moment. I was more properly Southern than she'd ever be. The room went silent. Patricia's own mother-in-law, who'd been tormented by Patricia for decades, started laughing. Finally, she said, someone who can put Patricia in her place while being too proper to criticize. Patricia tried one last attack. But can you make James happy? James stood up. Mom, she performs surgery for 12 hours, then comes home and cooks better than you. She speaks 4 languages you don't. She's pregnant with twins while running a department. She's more proper, more accomplished, and more woman than you ever taught me to expect. So yes, I'm happy. We've been married 5 years. Patricia barely speaks to me now, but she can't criticize. Every holiday, I host flawless events. Every family gathering, I outshine her. I gave her 3 grandchildren, had another after the twins, all while becoming chief of surgery. I am the epitome of everything she claimed was proper, and everything she said was improper. The genius wasn't in fighting her definition of proper. It was in exceeding it so completely that she had no ground left to stand on.